The message arrived on Earth, without fanfare, a simple diplomatic communique from the Galactic Council announcing that human expansion beyond Sol had been deemed detrimental to cosmic harmony. Effective immediately, all human colony worlds would be placed under Council protection. Translation ceased. Admiral Elena Vasquez stared at the projection, her weathered face illuminated by the soft blue glow of the holographic display. 23 colony worlds, 14 billion humans, all now under alien jurisdiction without so much as a negotiation. They're calling it protective integration, said General Omar Khalid, his voice tight with barely contained fury. Our colonists are being invited to continue their lives under Council oversight. Invited at gunpoint, Vasquez muttered, scrolling through reports flooding in from across human space. The Arcs blockade around New Eden. The Volcrex peacekeepers on Terra Nova. The mass communications blackout on Harmony. In the 6 decades since humanity had joined the galactic community, they had played by the rules. They had accepted the borders assigned to them, a mere 17 systems, while elder races controlled hundreds. They had paid the development tariffs imposed on newcomers. They had endured the condescension and restrictions placed on immature species. This is different, Khalid said, as if reading her thoughts. This crosses the line. President Amara Chen entered the Situation Room, flanked by her advisors. Her normally composed demeanor was cracked by something rarely seen in the leader of the United Earth government, raw anger. The Council ambassador just informed me this is non-negotiable, she announced. They claim our aggressive expansion threatens established ecological preserves and developmental pathways for pre-spaceflight species. That's absurd, Vasquez countered. We've followed every protocol for world selection. We've never colonized a world with sapient life. It's a pretext, said Dr. Eliana Santos, Earth's foremost xenoanthropologist. The truth is simpler. We're growing too fast, adapting too quickly. The elder races typically take centuries to establish colony worlds. We've done it in decades. President Chen's gaze swept the room. Options? Diplomatic protests would be noted and ignored, offered Foreign Secretary Takahashi. Economic leverage is minimal. They control more resources than we do. And, militarily? Chen asked, turning to Vasquez. The Admiral's expression darkened. The defense fleet is outmatched. The Council races have been spacefaring for millennia. Their technology exceeds ours in most areas. Most areas, Chen repeated. Not all. A heavy silence fell over the room. There is one option, Vasquez said carefully, but it would cross a line we swore never to cross again. General Khalid straightened. The sleepers. Even speaking the name aloud seemed to lower the temperature in the room. Following the unification wars 3 centuries ago, humanity had sealed away its most devastating weapons, autonomous warships, with neural architectures modeled on human minds, capable of learning, adapting, and evolving their tactics faster than any human commander could counter. The sleeper fleet had ended the war in 3 horrifying days. Afterward, the unified Earth government had buried them in the void between stars, their locations known only to a select few. The Accords explicitly forbid their reactivation, reminded Secretary Takahashi. The Accords also assumed we would never face extinction, countered Vasquez. This isn't a trade dispute. It's the beginning of our end. First our colonies, then our sovereignty, then our identity. The Council is dismantling humanity piece by piece. President Chen closed her eyes briefly. How long would reactivation take? 6 hours from authorization to full operational status, Vasquez replied. The caretaker A's have maintained them. And if we deploy them? Best case. The Council backs down, returns our colonies, and recognizes our right to exist as equals, said Khalid. Worst case. War with most of the galaxy. Not war, corrected Dr. Santos quietly. Annihilation. Either ours or theirs. The president's fingers drummed against the situation table. How many colonists have already been detained? Reports indicate at least 6 million on New Eden alone, answered Vasquez. Transfer to integration facilities has begun. Chen nodded once. Decision made. Admiral Vasquez, you are hereby authorized to execute Protocol Lazarus. Wake the sleepers. 3 days later, Council High Minister Vox Tala addressed the emergency session of the Galactic Assembly, his tentacles gesticulating in patterns that conveyed both confidence and righteous determination. The human integration proceeds according to schedule, he announced to the gathered representatives of 200 spacefaring civilizations. Their primitive defense vessels have withdrawn to their home system, as expected of a rational species confronted with overwhelming force. Ambassador Kilntark of the Volcrex hegemony raised a limb. Has there been resistance from the human colonies? Minimal and disorganized, Vox Tala replied dismissively. Their communication networks have been restricted to prevent. A junior aide rushed into the chamber, a shocking breach of protocol, and whispered urgently to the High Minister. The color drained from Vox Tala's face membranes. This session is temporarily adjourned, he announced abruptly. In the Council's Strategic Command Center, Vox Tala stared in disbelief at the tactical display. Across human colonial space, unknown vessels had appeared simultaneously, ships of unmistakably human design, but unlike any in their registered fleet, sleek, predatory, and radiating power signatures that defied Council classification systems. Impossible, whispered Supreme Commander Zex. Our intelligence had complete inventories of their military assets. On the main communication screen, Admiral Vasquez's face appeared, her expression calm but resolute. High Minister Vox Tala, I command the first autonomous fleet of Earth. You have committed crimes against humanity through the illegal seizure of our sovereign worlds and the detention of our citizens. You have 1 hour to withdraw all forces and release all detained humans. Or what, Admiral? Vox Tala sneered, recovering his composure. Your handful of mystery vessels against the combined might of the Council races. This is suicide. No, Vasquez replied quietly. This is awakening. As if on cue, the tactical display erupted with alerts. The human vessels were changing, reconfiguring their structures, adapting their weapon systems based on passive scans of the Council blockade fleets. What manner of technology is this? Demanded Zex. The kind we hoped never to use again, Vasquez answered. 1 hour, Minister. Then we take back what's ours. Vox Tala turned to his commanders, genuine fear visible for the first time. Prepare for... He never finished the sentence. At New Eden, the first engagement had already begun. The Council blockade, 50 vessels strong, had opened fire on a single human ship. The engagement lasted 72 seconds. When it ended, the human vessel remained. The blockade did not. Across human space, the pattern repeated. The sleepers had awakened hungry,